Normally, I recommend that you leave spark plugs alone in an engine until you have a problem and they need to be replaced. But there is an exception, and that's on V8 and V10 Ford 3-valve cylinder heads of certain years. They're heads that use a two-piece spark plug. You can tell these plugs, they have this long, smooth body on the end of it. That fits into the cylinder head, into a hole in the head, and the hole in the head is very tight around the spark plug. Now, what happens is, as you run the engine, carbon builds up between this portion of the plug and the cylinder head, and if you don't do things right, you can literally break the end right off of the plug. Now, there's a tool, but it's a $100 tool, and it takes about a half an hour per spark plug to remove the remnants. You can do it, but it's work that you don't really need to do if you do things right. Now, the first thing, of course, is to use the proper tools. Here we have a 3/8" drive ratchet, not the great big 1/2" drive. That applies too much force to things. And what you're going to do to remove these plugs is you're going to turn them in the remove direction very carefully, 1/4 of a turn. Then you're going to use a carburetor cleaner product, such as this Ford product that we have right here. You're going to pour that in around the spark plug and let it sit for a few hours. That chemical will work its way down around the plug and clean the end of the plug to get rid of the carbon, and the plug comes out without breaking. But now here's the trick, and this is something you should do before the carbon builds up, and that is to use anti-seize compound, such as we have right here. We put this, a very thin coat of it, on the entire end of the plug, so that once it's down in the engine, the carbon can't build up, the plug doesn't seize, and the plug doesn't break. It's very simple when you do it that way. Now, something else you want to keep in mind is that these engines all use coil on plug, so the coil, and you have this boot and then the spark plug. When you put this back together, because you had to take it apart to get the plugs out, well, what you do is you use some dielectric silicone grease right on the end of it to keep moisture away from the plug and out of the boot, and to prevent misfiring. Do it right, you won't have any problems. Plugs will last a long time, engine will run great, and you won't have any issues. And if you have a question or comment, drop me a line right here at MotorWeek.